a visual myself.
These are all dry systems.
Okay.
Okay, so again, your water, here's your clapper. Your water's kept down here, and typically these are in a heated, enclosed room.
Okay.
Okay, then from here in the entire system will be filled with air.
Gotcha.
Okay, so
Okay.
you'll have a lower reading on your air, which is your top gauge is always your air, bottom gauge is your water.
Okay.
Okay, so when you blow the bulb, this is actually 155. So when that reaches 155, it explodes and lets the water come out.
Okay.
So it releases the air, and then this trips, so this will open up like that,
Yeah.
and that allows the water to come out and through and out the sprinkler head.
Interesting.
Yeah. So when we go in and check a system, the first thing we do is kind of look at it, make sure everything appears fine. If anything is wrong when we show up initially, we'll note that. Upon arrival, we found the system was offline.
Oh.
Something was wrong. It's leaking. You know, anything that's out of the ordinary.
There's grease buildup
Yeah,
somewhere. Or
you know.
whatever.
Yeah, these heads are coated, they're rusted, you know,
Gotcha.
anything like that. And then we go through and we'll trip this. And like I said, every third year we have to trip it, and then we choke the water. We stop the water real quick.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Then when we do a full flow test, we leave this fully open. We have a guy down at the end of the line, and we communicate to radios or phones.
Yeah.
Okay, open the valve, and then you start timing it, and then you watch this gauge. It drops the pressure, and then when it trips, we record, say it tripped out at 20 pounds of air, and
What's-
it took 50 seconds.
I mean, you mean trip? It means that how long it got to the end of the line.
No, it trips the valve.
Oh, okay.
Because
Okay.
you'll hear it, and you hear this big thunk,
Oh,
you know, and
okay.
depending on the pressure, you'll hear it a lot louder.
Okay.
Sometimes it'll move the whole thing. And then we start timing it again to see how long it takes the water to reach our guy at the end of the line.
Okay.
And-
But he has it like, so the water doesn't come out through the heads. He has it like
Yeah,
disabled.
he has a test valve that actually has a sprinkler head that's broke at the end of the line,
Okay.
so it simulates a fire.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then all that has to take place in a minute, minute and a half. So the valve trip, water to the end of the line, minute, minute and a half.
Okay.
And then we record everything on, these don't have an inspection tag, but on our tags, it has exactly where, you know, each item took place.
Okay.
Air pressure trip, time, water flow, all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
Then
cool.
we come back, we shut the water off, main drain, open up this drains all the system back. Okay, once we make sure the system's drained, every system drive system has an air compressor.
Yep.
So we make sure the air compressor fills the system, has to fill within 30 minutes. Put the system back in service. Then we open up this valve, get the pressure back on, and then we have to do a main drain after we open the valve to make sure that this valve isn't stuck in its closed position.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into all this.
Oh, and this is an indicating valve. So you could see this.
It's open.
It's open.
Yep.
When it's in line with the pipe, and when it's closed, push.
I see it moving towards
Yeah,
this,
it'll
towards
be-
the
Yep.
close. Yep.
That way it tells you, because that you can visually look at the valve and say, hey, that valve's closed, that valve's open.
Sure.
So, and the same thing with this.
Oh yeah.
Different manufacturer, the same thing. When it's in line with the pipe, it's open. When it's shut.
Yep.
So,
Very cool.
but again, all gauges are dated. You see these are '08.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Gauges are good for 5 years, whether they need to be recalibrated or replaced. Now, we replace because it's cheaper than recalibrating.
Oh okay.
Yeah, and if it's recalibrated, there'll be a sticker on the back stating when it was calibrated. And
Okay.
it has 5 years from that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then, like I said, man, you can see the different types of heads. And there's a red box that hangs on the wall. And it'll have never fewer than 6. The more heads that are on the system, they'll have, you could see 6, 8 boxes hanging on the wall.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we make sure each head has its own wrench that you have to use to put them in and take them out. So we'll make sure the wrenches are in there
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
all the heads, and the heads are in good condition. So in case they're needed.
How many replacement heads do you keep in like reserve? Just a
Depending
couple?
on if there's 300 heads, you'll have 6. If you'll have 600 heads, you'll have 12. 900, you'll have 18.
What,
And it
what,
keeps going.
what percent is that? Like 2%?
Something like that,
Something
yeah.
like that?
Yeah. So it depends on how many systems are on, or heads are on that system, is how many they keep in stock.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, that's, pretty much it. And depending on the size valve, you'll be able to tell how big the system is.
Mm-hmm.
This is a 6, 4, and a 3.
How can you tell?
Just by looking at it first,
Oh.
because, I know the difference.
Okay.
But if you're ever in doubt, there's your 6-inch on the coupling. This will have a number 4, and this will have a number 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Oh, by that pipe.
the size of the pipe,
I gotcha.
and it'll tell you what kind of system it is. It's a dry alarm valve.
Yep.
This is dry pipe valve.
Yep.
So this one doesn't say it. It says it on here somewhere, but it's probably in the back where you can't see it.
Okay.
Yeah, it says right here, dry pipe valve. So it'll tell you technically what type of system it is.
Okay.